I know it's supposed to come was fine. Did you know that? No advertisement about it.
All right, here we go. We're going to call this special session of the Sullivan City Council here in September 23rd, 2025 to order here. If you all would please rise, face the flag, and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna add something real quick. All of our meetings from July 1st are on our live. So that you can go back and look at last month's meeting as well.
Thank you.
This meeting is a live meeting. All county, city, state meetings have to have video and live stream.
All right, we're going to do a quick roll call. Councilmember Ayers, White.
Here.
Councilmember Bonham. Councilmember Mayfield.
Here.
Threw me off over here. Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember McClanahan. Here. And Attorney Followell, and I am the mayor of the city of Sullivan. We're all present. Okay.
It depends on what era, when you know if it's Ayers or if it's White.
Well, actually, the air is white, so same person.
Somebody told me twice about this and I went ahead and did it, didn't I? Yeah, so let's call this, let's put this on pause and adjourn this special session, and we'll open up the public hearing.
I make the motion that we adjourn this meeting for a special session. Second.
For a public hearing.
Yep.
Second, okay. All ayes?
Aye.
Okay, so now we're going to open the public hearing. So the public hearing is over sewer rates that we discussed last month. And we'll start with Mr. Chuck Mize. If you go to the podium, we'll start the timer at 3 minutes. We will ask you to stop and return to your seat.
Yeah.
Well, let me say, first of all, I'm pretty displeased because I received a notice about this whole thing last week in the mail. And I was told that I could go to the city hall and pick up more information on it. They had no idea what I was talking about and told me I could pick it up here tonight. So that's a bunch of hoopla, okay? And if that's the way you run things, I hope somebody else gets elected next time, all right? Now, with that being said, folks, I pay my sewer bills. I probably have one of the biggest sewer bills in this town. I've owned most mobile home parks, one of which I pay all of the water, sewer, and trash for, okay? I pay about $1,200 to $2,000 a month in sewer bills now. A 25% hike in that is severe. Now, years ago, I talked to Clint Lamb, who was mayor at the time, about getting affordable housing around this town. That's the reason I bought those trailer parks. And since then, I've got nothing but resistance from this city. It is no wonder nobody wants to come here and do business. It's very difficult. I am the cheapest around. I've met my end of things. And if this sort of thing keeps on, I'll have to raise rates, and then you'll lose your low-income housing. I don't know what you expect people to do with a 25% hike, okay? Plus, the information I'm supposed to get, I didn't get, so I can't really address it. You haven't addressed it here tonight. There was no notice about the other meetings, all right? Not to me.
On our agenda. Yeah.
On your agenda, okay, but I don't live in Sullivan. Okay, I own property in Sullivan, but I don't live in Sullivan. So I don't keep up with the city council meetings. I can't run for office here, or I probably would, okay? But folks, you're mishandling this. You don't do a 25% hike. If nothing else, you do an exponential hike of 5% a year, something to that nature, so people can absorb it. Okay, how you think my tenants are going to respond if I raise their rental rates 25%. They already have trouble. Now, I was at a Board of Public Works meeting here for the city here last year, and this lady right here made a really good statement. How can you have a sewer department if you can't collect the rates or if the rates are not high enough? She's absolutely right. Okay, but I can tell you, this is really going to put a strain on your lower income people. It's going to put a strain on your businesses. Do it with some sense, okay? 5% a year, first year evaluated. Do I need another 5? If you do, do it another 5. If you do it another 5. But that way you can gradually take it up and it will be absorbed without so much pain. Use your heads, okay?
This is up.
Second speaker?
Now or no?
No.
Okay, we'll move on.
Input.
Carrie McCammon.
Well, I echo some of the gentleman's comments here. This is sort of all a surprise to all of us. I mean, getting the information, we got the information in the mail, actually got it from on the internet the other day. And it just seemed like all of a sudden this rate increase comes up, and progressively ever since, well, going back 2003 or so, you keep raising the rates. This is a steeper rate than has been. One of the questions I would have, what is the estimated amount of money if you were to take all these rates? How much extra revenue would that generate for the city?
Corby, did you hear that question?
I did. I can get you that figure here. You're gonna have to give me just 1 second.
Carrie, that doesn't count against your time.
Oh,
I'd say we're gonna give you more than 3. Have any of your other bills went up? Your electric bill, your gas bill, everything else has went down?
Bill went down.
I would say they remain relatively flat, quite honestly, but it's hard to tell. We had a new heat pump put in last year, and I'd say our electricity and gas bills overall have gone down from the year before.
Ohio Valley gas bill, budget bill went from 70 to 130.
Ours went down.
87%.
Ours went down. Ours went down.
Mine did.
Electric's only down $50.
Ours went down.
Ours went down, so.
This is not, I'm not gonna get into the argument.
Highest utility I have.
But Tom, that doesn't, we're talking about the sewer bill. Let's not, we can all get off and start saying, well, gee, my gas bill went up on my car. Everything can go up for various reasons, but I thought the discussion here today was supposed to be about the sewer bill.
It is. Yeah, just a general.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the issue. The question I'm posing, first of all,
Revenues generated should, with the additional 15% rate increase, it should be around another $380,000 a year for the sewer utility.
But it's more than 15%.
25%.
yeah, it's almost 25%.
City.
Yeah, it's almost 25% if we're right.
The city.
Okay, you look.
I guess the other question I have is A, is that, whatever that is, whether it's 380,000 or whatever, how is that money going to be used? Is it going to cover some major reconstruction in the sewer system or some improvements that we don't know about? There's this other theory, of course, going on. You know, there's this property taxes are being lowered in the state for a lot of homeowners, not everyone, but for most homeowners. But if the cities turn right around and raise utility rates and take that money back, homeowners are at a zero-sum game. And I see a lot of our Lakeside West people here. I think most of us, fortunately, can afford to pay these bills, but it's making it very difficult for homeowners to afford to buy a home and stay in a home. You start taking families that are larger families with young children. I mean, the utility costs are just exorbitantly high. And how do you expect to keep people in houses and build a community when all these costs keep going up?
Do you have an answer about how you're going to use the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, Corby, I mean, it's the sewer operating
Yeah.
fund. Yeah.
Correct. So the purpose of this increase is the fact that the sewer operating fund continues to run into the red. Yes, the town really as a whole, from a financial perspective, is, tight. We're working through some difficulties here because of previous state legislation that existed, but the utilities are also struggling here. If you look at your fund reports on Gateway or any reports even that we've put out, the sewer operating fund is currently negative. This is to essentially provide the city with some working capital, meaning increasing cash within the sewer fund so that we don't continue to run to the negative.
How much additional working capital?
Town or the-
And how much in,
Okay, go ahead.
how much is the city running negative on the sewer fund now? He just said that it was. What's that number?
I can give you an estimate from one of the latest fund reports I have. I don't know if Lisa McCannell or Sue's there. They might have a more up-to-date figure, but I can see what I can find here.
It would be very helpful when we come to a meeting like this, if some of this very basic information was laid out for us. I think all of us understand the necessities of the city to run and provide services. We also would like to see how the money's being spent, where it's going, and what it's going to be used for. That's pretty simple stuff, and we're not seeing that.
You want me to talk without interfering with his time?
Yep.
Understand.
So the sewer fund, the operating fund, as of the middle of August, was about $210,000 in the red. This increase of $380,000 will generate some revenues in order to, at least the hope would be get us back to at least level. It should also provide some cash flow in the future so that we can start not only get into the black, but also build some cash balances there. All of this increase that's going to be generated through the sewer increase is going to go to the sewer utility. It's not going to any civil funds. It's going directly to benefit the sewer utility.
So I want to add something too that he didn't talk about. How many feet of new pipe did you have to put at Lakeside West?
Over 300 feet.
Not in our subdivision.
That's one street. Not even one street.
It's the back street. Mr. Bradford, right? What street do you live on?
That's Lakeview Drive,
Lakeview Drive.
half of Lakeview Drive.
It's from that intersection all the way down to the end, back towards the cemetery by Mr. Bradford's house. So 300, it's over 300 feet, maybe 375,
When
355.
was it laid?
What's that?
When they put it down? It's, they're going to put it
We
down.
purchased
They're going
the
to put it
pipe
down.
and they're gonna they're.
Yeah, all the material has been purchased and it's on the city sewer crews list. Get out there before the winter time to start putting that pipe in. I don't know if the folks are here tonight. They came 4 or 5 months ago and addressed a problem out there.
If it's going to take this much more money to get this project back to where we're at least on a positive side, it also begs the question is how darn high are these sewer bills going to go in the future? You got to look at that as well. I mean, there needs to be some prospectus out there to tell homeowners, look, if you buy a piece of property in this community, you need to know that you're going to have utility costs within the next 5-10 years. This is the kind of information that people really do need to know when they buy a house. If you buy a house and somebody says, well, what's my property taxes? Well, I don't have any idea. They're high. Well, what's high? These kind of utility costs are becoming these kind of issues that create real problems for people. So I think that we just need to do a better job. And again, I realize that the city needs a certain amount of funds to refurbish our utilities and things like that. I think we all do. But I think we also need to be thinking about how this affects the community, where we're going to go in the future. And like I say, what we're hearing right now is what we would say as homeowners, the 25% increase after multi-years of double-digit increases. a 25% increase is just gonna get us back to break even or something in that neighborhood. Well, where in the devil are we gonna be going 5 years from now? I mean, it's just becoming more and more of an issue. So, that's all I've got to say. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Councilman Martin wants to speak.
I don't know if this will answer any of your questions or not, but, or at least what you're thinking. You want to know a little bit about the history and why this is happening and everything. I'm going to give you my opinion. This doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else in here agrees with me, but
Speak louder.
you've got a situation, and I think you'll all agree
They
with
they
this.
can't hear you back there?
Speak in your
Your
microphone.
microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Is this thing?
Yeah, hit the
volume?
button.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think most of you know that this sewer system, most of it or a lot of it was put in by the WPA back before any of us was even probably thought of. And over the years, of course, it's deteriorated. And each council that comes along and administration that comes along, they have been addressing this for probably 20 years or so after the sewer was put in. And what we've got is a dilemma, and it's this. We need to replace a large amount of the sewer system in our city that's completely shot. Now, this gentleman here asked about doing a little at a time as far as raising rates. Well, we've been at fault there too because we haven't raised them as we should over the years. But the point is, we have a sewer system that is deteriorating to the point now that it's costing us more to keep it running. So when you use it, it's there and does what it's supposed to. We do that in the form of sinkholes, more of them. 20 years ago, we never had sinkholes. We had problems, but not sinkholes. Now we have a number of them a year. Used to, we had a lot of the sewers now are beginning to collapse. And this is where we have to come in, and the local, we as a city and our employees at the sewer department try to do what they can to keep from getting into a contract job. And this is cutting down on a lot of the expense. But the cost to do the jobs, of course, has increased like everything else, you know. And the number of jobs that we have to do a year is also increasing. And this is what's driving the price up on our operating the sewer. And that is what's putting us in the red. So we've got a choice. And the choice is simply not do anything and keep the rates as they are. You're going to be back here in this room, and the whole block will be full of people wondering why they can't flush their stool and get it go out and not end up in their basement, coming out of the basement drain or something.
It already is.
So this is a story, basically what we've got. We've got to do something to keep this going. And you're right, sir, 5 years from now, there'll be people sitting right here in these chairs just like you, wondering why their sewer rates are going up again. Because we cannot, you're talking millions and millions of dollars to replace sewer lines in this city, not counting the roads that have to be resurfaced after the sewer have been replaced. So our alternative, and the only thing we can do, is what we're doing now, is every time there's a problem, we address it as fast as we can. The other thing is we got what we call a VACON. And that thing will open up almost anything. So if we get a sewer that's invaded with roots because we've got opening in our sewers, why, we can go through those and clean those roots out, and we can keep the sewer running as smoothly as we possibly can. So the reason we're asking for the increase is to keep maintaining what we're doing now, basically. And we're not flowering anything up and saying, hey, you give us this money and next year we're gonna come down and replace your sewer and boy, you're gonna be in great shape.
Telling people out at Lakeside West that if we just are gonna do the same thing we've been doing every time we have a major storm out there. Fortunately, our home was built on high ground, but we see.
Of course, you're talking another thing, we got combined sewers where the
Yeah,
sanitary and the storm goes in.
so we have
We
storm
shouldn't have
drains.
Lakeside West, correct?
Yeah, we have storm drains popping off,
No.
people having their basements flooded.
There's no storm sewer out there.
But there's no, should be no storm
There's
sewer.
no storm sewer in Lakeside West.
But anyway, that's basically what I gotta say. That's the reason we're trying to keep ahead of the game as best we can until something someday comes along that will allow us to do something more permanent. But that's the reason we're asking for the sewer rate increase, is to basically keep maintaining your sewers so you can use them and they'll be there for you when you need them. The alternative is that they won't be there when you need them if we don't
You also
increase.
need to address IDEM mandates.
Well, that's another story. If you want me to continue, I can go down to the sewer plant.
Here's up there.
And I can tell you about a blower down there that we had it is used in the process of treating the sewers. And that was $100,000. There's nothing cheap down there. And then, as Jeannie said, IDM comes along with their, they don't recommend anything. They tell you what you're going to do. Your phosphate level's too high. You've got till this time to correct that. And so we have to go out and buy the equipment to get the phosphate level down. So when the runoff goes into the creek, Busrum Creek, it's up to par, and it's not poison, in other words. We have this to contend with all the time. They're down here probably every month. And there's just a lot of things going on that you know now that most people don't know in the city.
That's monthly maintenance. That should be already budgeted in. Has nothing to do with the sewer ending up in my basement.
I'm sorry, ma'am, it does. It has everything to do with the sewer
The
because,
chemicals that you need to adjust the phosphate level, that's monthly maintenance.
no, we had to put in a chemical system to handle that. That cost quite a bit of money. And this isn't the first time this has happened. So I'm just trying to give you kind of a general picture of why we've got to do what we're doing.
You said in a week or two or a month, if we don't do this, we'll all be backed up down the block.
Well, if you
Because it will
don't,
be in our basement. It's already been in our basement and we're just waiting for it to happen again because we haven't had any rain.
well, we're trying our best, I know, to deal with these, what I would call an emergency problem. Most of the time, if you have water coming in your basement, a check valve will cure it.
It hasn't.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir, because, I've got a check valve, my neighbor's got one. There's so much pressure out where we live, it pushes it past the check valve.
Well, then that's on us, and we should be trying our best to get the pressure down for
Well,
it.
you
Why
should
we're
be.
here.
But we can't do that without funds. And we're in the hole so much
What's
now.
my extra 25% paying for now?
Yeah, and the other thing is, sir, if we get too much in the hole, we can't go out and apply for bonds to do projects. Because they're gonna look at us and say, wait a minute. It's just like you do at home. So I don't want to take up the whole thing here, but I just wanted to give you a roundabout idea to answer your question and maybe some of the other folks here tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. I believe what you're saying, by the way. But there needs to be a way. I mean, I know we're a small community that's not really growing population wise. So there's a static appointment at that end. But there needs to be a way as a community that we have some way to have a plan that we can get ahead of this thing and get out into the future that we see some
We
positive.
do, it's about $80 million.
Well,
But what's your
No,
timeline for the
I
80
agree.
million?
We've been kicking that, not to interrupt, we've been kicking that down the road, kicking it down. The interceptor line that runs out from the north side of 41 all the way down. We just keep moving it back.
You're right, sir, and the other gentleman is too. We need,
Wrong.
we have been at fault here. Not just us, but previous administrations. We've tried to correct it a little bit, but we haven't incremented rate increases over a period of time, just like you suggested, and that's exactly the way it should be done. And I just don't disagree with that at all. Right now, we're in a spot though, we've got to do what we got to do to get things moving the way they are. And then once that's done, hopefully somebody will come along smarter than me and say, hey, guys, let's do this every year now, and we won't be hurting the customers as much. We know this is gonna hurt, but our alternative is there's no alternative. We just gotta do it.
Well, I think we would all agree that we run our households, our budgets the same way that we look to the city to run the budgets on all of our behalf.
Exactly the same way.
Same thing. There's no magic to this. You're in the hole from what you just said. The numbers that the Wizard of Oz in your computer is putting out there, he put it all at 15%. Most of us sitting here are going to see 25%. So I'm saying his number's misleading, maybe not intentionally. So let's say that he's saying it's 300, 380. It's probably closer to 500,000 if we're going to really put a pencil to it, but I don't know that. So let's say that heals, absent some catastrophe, that heals the red and you're in the black. Then I guess our question would be, are you going to maintain to get to that 80 million, this 25% increase for us and 15 for you folks in the city? What's the timeline to get there?
Like, why do we have to pay more?
Okay,
Look
so
out there.
I'm real curious. Your rate is not gonna go up. You already pay a premium 25% more because you don't live in the city.
We do.
So your rate will only go up 15%.
Well, that's not what
That's
that
not what it
says.
says.
25%.
Your chart, your chart says 25%.
And I don't want to commit to
You're
that.
outside the city already paying an
You're already
additional
paying an
25%.
additional 25.
Correct, but the
Okay.
new,
So the
the
new
new
rate goes up
numbers.
15%.
Well,
You're
if you,
paying
25%.
25%
if
on
you
the
take,
entire rate.
if you take the increase on the base, the increase on the per gallon, and you compare it, it is 25%. It's nearly 25%. So I'm only bringing that up. We all know what we're paying. You all know what we're paying. I'm just saying, I think his number's a little low, and assuming that you take in enough revenue to get back to the black, to get to the 80 million you're talking about, what's the city looking at? How many years are you looking at?
Good luck. So we are working.
No, I'm just asking.
Well, this is what we're doing. What we're doing now is to keep us from having to pay big bucks like this. And what we should do is, once we get this in the black, is the next year, we should start an increment increase in rates.
But you have been every year anyway.
No, that's where we've been, that's where the city, and I'm gonna state.
Well, I only say that
We
because I
have
keep
been
track.
at fault for not increasing sewer rates when we should.
Well, I call the office.
For
and
years.
I talk to you guys about it every year. And I make notes on what you're doing and you guys tell me what the increase was. And I compare it and I track it because I care. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I care. When we moved here from California, I was shocked at how high it is here. And my friends back there laughed every week when I complained about the sewer bill.
And I stopped complaining a few years ago because now they're all complaining. And it's a lot more fun for me to listen to them complain than for me to complain. That's all. But I keep track of it all and you guys haven't been not raising it.
Do what's that?
You haven't been not raising
Yeah,
it.
no, we've been raising.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
But for years,
I think we're
years,
probably
they
talking
didn't.
about
They-
16, 17 is when we really
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
What would happen?
I was here, I was guilty, saying, why do we want to do this?
Would your expectation be that you'll stay at this rate, nearly this rate then for the next few years?
I would
You
hope so, yes.
But if there's a catastrophe, we'll probably see it yet again.
And the other side of that, we are working with Commonwealth
We had septic in Pollitt Pines.
several projects to cut down on the stormwater, to help with the interceptor line, to bring that price down. There is quite a bit in the work that we are doing. The other thing I want to say real quick,
Because of the water tank.
would you rather the city own the sewer plant? That's the only utility we have, or would you folks rather that it was sold and it was run by another organization, Indiana American Water?
The privately owned water company, I mean, the water rate's half the cost of the sewer rate.
I know they do.
Right, if I go put a gallon of water on my lawn to keep the grass green, I have to pay twice the amount of water to the sewer. I mean, the privately owned water company clearly seems to have
you
been
can get a
running.
break. That's one,
No.
that's one area where you get a break.
Lawn water.
Isn't that just once a year though?
Once a year.
So it's
That's
just
right.
in summer, June, July, well, school.
So how does this break work? I applied 5 months ago and my sewer bill's still $500 and I'm still waiting on a break.
Well, did you turn it in?
Yes.
Every year.
Regardless of the break, I mean, by comparison, the fact that the sewer rate is twice as much as the water
It
rate.
costs more to clean it up than it does to get it
You
to
look at many other communities and they're typically, very comparable.
You know, sir, the sewer is the most costly utility to keep up of all of them. This is what, of all the bills you pay for utilities, the most costly to keep moving in the right direction and do what it's supposed to do is your sewer. And that's a proven,
I'm sure it is. You just asked if.
So
we'd
that's
rather
why
it
you're
be
paying a
privately
little
owned.
more.
Yeah, no, that was my
I
question.
think I would rather it be
You
private.
would rather be.
You gotta remember another
Just
thing,
curious.
if this is sold, those people are, they're in there to make a profit. We aren't. We work for you and all we're wanting to do is break even. So
So why can't we allocate funds from
That's-
something else?
But the question would be, I think there, is if that were consideration, could a privately owned company run it more efficiently and better and maybe do a better job? I'm not saying you guys are trying to do a bad job. I think everybody's trying to do their job.
It's a
and get things done.
possibility, yes, it is.
But could a privately owned
Subcontract.
Yeah,
company?
it is. That's
It's
why I
in
asked the
this-
question.
As a profession, could they do this and do it more cost effectively and have a better long-term plan of how they're gonna manage the system?
Subcontract it.
Because it sounds like to me what you're saying when you use this figure of $80 million, this is almost this thing of, we're never gonna get out
Sounds
of it.
crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's like
does.
we're never gonna get out of the
I
hole on
thought
this
so
thing.
too
We're
when
always
they
gonna
showed us
be,
the
we're always gonna be
papers.
bailing water. And I don't think we want that for the homeowners. I don't think we want it for the community.
We may not have a choice, but the IDM mandate us to do that.
Hmm.
And that's what we've been kicking down the road, kicking it.
Don't kick it no more.
See if we could
If we
operate our
don't kick
sewer,
it, then we get fined.
if we could operate our sewer on an even keel every year and do it like you do your homes. Things are gonna break down at home, you're gonna fix them. That's what we could do, but you don't have somebody outside like we do telling us what we have to do. And that's where your money is the most costly. What we do here in town, we don't have to have bonds to do what we do. We can do it on your sewer, what you contribute. But when we come along with these big projects and we have to put bonds to do it, then we gotta pay those bonds off from your sewer bills. And that's where a lot of it, we get into trouble. And that's what's caused us to.
Is that a real option when you said that about a privately owned company? Is that
Could be,
something that
yes.
can be done?
Could be, yes.
that has been discussed?
Are you
Yes.
looking into active?
Indiana American Water
Yes.
approaches a lot of cities
Yeah.
across the nation.
Mhm.
Indiana, Pennsylvania, whatever, and you can look it up online,
Yeah,
see
it's-
which cities have sold to Indiana American Water, whatever their state
Yeah.
I
is.
think what's their 3,
Yeah.
4 in the state
But
of
they're
Indiana.
for profit.
They're for profit,
And
so
if
they're,
it cost us 80 million, it's gonna cost them
it's
80
gonna, they're
million.
gonna,
They're not gonna,
Well,
and that's why we've hired
it may,
Commonwealth.
it may not, day in and day out, privately run companies demonstrate that they can do things less expensively than government agencies can. They don't have the
I will
same.
not I totally agree
They're
with you.
more efficient, they're professional at what they do, they have the manpower, the equipment to make things happen on time when it's supposed to happen. That's how they make money. They're still in a competitive world someplace out there. There are other people, if they're a privately held company, they're competing with other privately held companies.
Have you bidded it out at all?
Pardon me?
Have you put it in a bid, to bid it out to see what you could get?
We have just discussed it. How about that?
and that's because it's been in the papers about the different cities in
Yeah,
Indiana.
It's just been
you
a
know.
discussion. One of the last things that we do have, we don't have our water, electricity, gas, so on and so forth. It is the last utility and that was my question to you guys. Would you rather deal with us and
We
not
love you.
like what we're doing?
We just
Or would
want
you
it
rather go with a publicly traded company when they want to raise your rates 15, 18, 20, 25%? And you not be able to go see
We
them?
would still have our storm sewer because.
We
they're
still have
the-
it, but
they-
there's a lot that out of there, they wouldn't have it. right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, see, we'd still have our stormwater here in town, but for you folks out there, that's just a personal question.
But I wanted to clarify something on the rates. The rates are going up 15%. Your 25% stays the same as it currently is. So you're paying 25% of the increase. You're not paying another 25%. I mean, your 25% is not going up 25%.
So what is it going up, sweetie?
Well, it'd be your the new rate schedule. You'd pay 25% of the new rate schedule. But somebody said something about they thought their 25% was gonna go up 25%.
That's why we read this.
That's the way it's worded.
Okay.
I'd like to see that. I'd also like to know.
You
when
got
said
one? Do you have your
came into
letter?
You
Say
came
what,
into
Patty?
City Hall and asked for this information?
They had no idea what I was talking about.
And who did you talk to?
Girls up front of the desk, I don't know who that is. I went up to the front desk here and asked them that, I don't know who that
Bad
is.
English.
Was it the drive-up window?
Yes.
$20.
Okay.
Figure out how much footage we have.
That to me,
We didn't write this letter.
well,
We didn't
yeah,
write the letter.
so that right there to me tells me that we're paying 50% more.
So I'm gonna pay $205 a month. for
Okay,
sewer.
the ordinance says,
I understand what you just said, but that's not what you sent out.
okay,
Right.
well, I don't know what-
Yeah.
who wrote this.
Yeah, we're done.
Somebody needs to resend another update, and if that's incorrect. I look at this as, you know, if we agree to this, we're stuck with
I'm
it.
paying the same sewer price that I'm paying for my electric.
Okay, so as far as the ordinance goes, it's, I've got your section 2 here.
Is your microphone on? Is your-
The portion that that pertains to use as.
Pull it down.
Pull it
down
there,
It's not on.
Pull it down
Since I bought this house 2 years ago, it's been.
up to your mouth and turn it on.
Better.
Now you turned it off.
Yeah.
Now it's on.
For services rendered by the sewage treatment works to lots, parcels of real estate or buildings located outside the corporate limits of the city.
Hey,
She's saying.
Let's calm down and listen to her, please.
hold it down up back there.
Go ahead.
Say again, Patty.
For services rendered by the sewage treatment works to lots, parcels of real estate, or buildings located outside the corporate limits of the city of Sullivan, the rates and charges, including minimum charges, shall include an outside city surcharge of 25% as is currently in place. Nothing changed there. It's 25% of the new rate, just like it was 25%.
What's the other 20?
What's the new rate?
Because I've got it in there twice.
So if you're.
I don't know where this is.
Yeah, that.
She's saying that was incorrect.
So it's still 25%, but it's 25% of the increase, the total amount. So it's, this is semantics, you get that, right? We appreciate your point of view, but this is semantics because you're saying, well, no, it's still just 25%, but it's 25% of a bigger pie.
Yes.
Which,
Well,
which
It
when you
is
do
for
the math.
everybody. Everybody's got, I've got to pay this too.
Oh, no, I know, we hear you. We're,
The ordinance includes everything.
Says 3314.
I mean, that's one reason everybody's blood pressure is so high here is because, you know, I'm looking at this going, I'm gonna pay 50% more.
It's saying it right.
I'm like, what's my 25% buying now? A system that does not work.
We got 3 toilets.
What if I don't flush my toilet for like one day?
Because you've always paid 25%.
Pay 20.
What is that? When that become effect, you know, Gene?
You what?
The 25%, how long has it been in effect? I mean, it's since the beginning?
When I was mayor in 96.
Yeah,
it
you
was
say it's
in
been,
effect, so it's big.
and there's,
I started coming to city council meetings in 1982 and it was in effect
Okay.
then.
And so what is that 25%?
I'll tell you when I think it was put into effect was when Greenbrier was built. I think.
Okay, well, I think that's immaterial. What I'd like to know is what initially was that 25% increase about that we pay? Was that to maintain the
length.
system that's out there?
The length of the sewer
It's-
lines.
Because, well, but the sewer was already in.
My understanding was it was to offset some of what the people that live in the city have to spend through their tax money that comes to the city on equipment, stuff like that, that they use on the sewer. That was my understanding.
But the pump stations are out there. The pump
Yeah,
in.
but
Lift stations.
they're owned and operated by the city.
I understand that. But, you know, that 25%'s been being paid for how many years to maintain all that, to absorb the cost? And, you know, where's that money going?
Well, it's the same thing as.
I mean, there's
our
been,
General
you know,
fund. that
Well,
we
but
have.
that's not a general fund.
No, I'm saying that part of our general fund that you don't pay, that the citizens pay, go to that sewer.
I understand that.
They wouldn't do it.
Are we not citizens?
But
Not
we're,
in the city.
They're not in the city.
they don't get any of our tax.
City residents as opposed to county.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you don't get any of our tax revenue.
That's correct.
So I understand the 25%. You know,
Oh, I thought you didn't. I'm
no,
sorry.
I understand it. But I want to understand isn't it to maintain the system out there? Because
Yes.
nothing's been done,
It's to maintain the whole system
the whole
as
system,
best we can, but,
okay?
and there's a priority.
So
that-
I hear, you know, I hear talk of grant money and this and that, you know, to get some of this stuff done. I know you just ran sewer down Washington. Storm in,
And probably
sanitary.
5 or 10 other projects this
Okay.
summer too, that we did.
you know, as part of that grant money, you know, paying for the, you
Sidewalks.
know, however foot many white sidewalks you're putting in and a trail out to the park. And
That's grant money, yes.
that's grant money.
But not sewer money.
Why isn't that money being spent on the sewer system?
It
It
can't
is.
can't be.
It is. The sewer's under the ground.
If they're doing anything to the sewers, and I think they're putting stormwater out there, aren't they, Shirley? On Washington Street project? That's covered by the grant money, yes.
Okay. Why isn't that grant money, you know, like I said, all the sidewalks, the trail going out to the park and all that? Who's, you know,
The grant money goes to the
No matter what lift
project.
I understand that,
The
but
sewer is included in the project.
I understand that. But included in that project are inlaid brick sidewalks, a path out to the park. Why isn't that money being spent a little bit more wisely on the rest of the sewer system?
I thought the grant money
And
was
it's
only
not
to
allowed
spend
that.
for what it was.
Sidewalks you tear out, put back in something comparable.
It's designated.
When you're talking about grants,
Can't spend money.
you're saying that we got a grant to put in these, the money is allocated to be spent on specific things.
Correct.
Another thing about grants, just as a fact of life, is that we don't get any 100% grants.
I understand that.
So the city is obligated to pay, you know, if we get a $500,000 grant, it's an 80-20, we still owe them 100 grand.
20%.
Okay?
But the grant money.
I know where you're coming from when we talk about money with the sewer thing, you're thinking, well, okay, we got this pile of money, let's fix the sewer. But like Gene was trying to say, we've had this debt in the sewer for years and years and years, and the cost of maintaining or trying to improve or trying to fix the problems just overwhelmed. It's an overwhelming formula where the money keeps building up to pay. And then and tonight, for example, we're trying to increase the income. Think of it as income. And back to Indiana American, if they're a private company, believe me, they're going to care about income for this sewer. Where does that income come from? You.
Yeah, but they would amortize that cost. I mean, that's.
Maybe they would. Who knows? And where would you go to complain about it? To City Hall, or would you have to go to the IRUC in Indianapolis? I mean, that's what we think about as a council to try to keep you from paying more. I know that you may not believe that.
Tom, it almost
Yeah.
sounds like what we're saying a little bit, though, and I listen to these guys. I believe everybody's trying to do the job. I don't
Sure.
think somebody's funding off $500,000 for a yacht down in the Caribbean.
Right.
It sounds almost like this is a bigger job than our small community can actually handle. We don't have the manpower, the resources to maintain this system or to improve this system for the community as it stands. If that is true, we should acknowledge that and look for what those other options are
I understand that.
and move on from that. If we're just, like I say, if we're just covering our ass all the time,
Right.
we're not gonna get any place. I mean, we're gonna have these meetings every year. You guys, the ones that are still up there, you're gonna be hearing this grief from everybody all the time. And if this is a project, if this city sewer, and I understand it's an old system. I was born here in Sullivan, how old it was. I'm not that old. Close to it. It's an old system. It's gonna require a lot of maintenance. Is this project that is beyond our scope to handle?
A retainer.
If we had the money, no, but yeah. Yeah.
We're afraid of. And they keep adding, there's probably been 12 new homes built out at Lakeside West. They keep adding burden to this antiquated sewer system.
They're still sitting empty. That's
Not all of
the.
them.
What concerns us about this whole thing is, and I'm serious, you might think I'm talking through, but is what it's gonna cost to you if we sell this to a private organization? And what's it gonna do to your rates? What's your sewer? We're trying to operate this sewer system we got with the minimum. You're absolutely right. We're gonna be coming back to get more money because it's gonna cost us more.
So
What we need to find out, and we're in the process of doing that now, is what it's gonna cost
Said a word tonight.
you as a sewer recipient, if we sell it to a private concern.
Yeah.
That's our, I mean, we owe it to you to do the best job we can. Break you doing it.
Yeah, you don't wanna sell to some bandits, have them just charge us twice the money. Yeah, I understand.
I don't know how long we can, as you say, Band-Aid these sewers, but so far and for the last 20 years or 30 or 40, maybe that's what we've been doing.
Yeah. But the sewers are getting, it's becoming a bigger problem every year. They're older every year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I keep hearing is this just beyond our scope? Is this just something that our city, at our size, we don't have the manpower, the equipment, and we certainly don't have the money?
Why don't you have an outside firm come in, look at this, do a study of what it's gonna cost to do this?
Retired.
You mean, and to fix the sewer, then that cost would be another 200,000.
Well,
It's just like that on IDM and.
you know, but I hear this, well, we've been nursing this along and nursing it along and nursing it along. I understand that, but there's never been a plan put in place to resolve the issue. Now, where I live, I mean, I've pumped sewage out of my basement. So's another gentleman that's sitting back behind me here. So's my neighbor next door. The manhole across the cove from us, every time you get 3+ inches of rain, looks like a, raging river dumping raw sewage into that lake.
This doesn't fit your problem right now. Hang on.
Well,
Wait,
but,
hang on.
and you've been out there.
No, I was out there that night, and let me,
But
that is, with Commonwealth, that is one of the things that JD's going to pull up. What we are addressing is how much stormwater is going into our sewer lines.
they smoke tested all that.
I know that but it's, when you say there's a river, I was out there that night. We get the heavy rains, has to be places where the rainwater is getting into the sewer system to back it up.
And you
Otherwise,
can clearly see that, but
Right,
you're
exactly,
talking
because-
375 foot of pipe going
Yes.
from the cemetery down to the corner.
And that is one thing.
Our road.
one of
What
the
about
things
the other
with
side of the
HWC
corner where the hole's that deep that you stepped in and we had to pull you out?
But that's right. No.
I mean,
And that's one of the
a
things.
little bit of common sense goes a long ways, guys. I mean, there has to be, instead of just kicking the can down the road, I mean,
Okay, the thing I've got to say to you, sir, we can find a resolution to this problem, but we gotta find one that you can live with.
I understand
And
that.
it's easy. We can go out and hire some engineers, come in and say, hell at it. But we can't afford that, to have that burden put on you folks. We just won't do it. But we do what we can with what we got. And once in a while, we're gonna have to come to you for a sewer increase. And maybe we'll do that increment thing. That's the best way to do it.
So what's,
Until somebody comes along with an idea that we can afford.
understood.
That's just it. I mean, there's no
So
other answers.
is there any, the people that live out there, is there any stipulations as far as if anybody that lives out there independently wanted to put their own septic in? Is that allowable?
That, we would not control that.
Okay,
That's a state thing.
okay.
So we would not be objective to that.
So that goes through the county.
That, that's your thing.
All right, so Mr. Mock, correct? Mr. Mock?
Yeah.
All right, 3 minutes is up. You've had your time to talk. Brent Ritchie?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
My turn?
That's your turn.
All right, so I moved here 2 years ago. We bought our dream house in Sullivan. As soon as I turned the sewer on, got told it was $160 a month. I about freaking died. I came from Alaska where it was $80 a month. My water bill is $70 a month. Why am I paying $179 a month right now? I don't understand. 3 days after I bought my house, I'm 48 feet from my clean out to the city sewer. I had to run 150 feet of auger to clean out the line for the whole street. I don't understand that. I don't get why. Every time it rains, I auger the whole damn street. Explain that to me.
Where do you live?
On Roof Street in Lakeside West.
Where's that at?
All right. As soon as
Okay,
you
so
get,
real quick, you tell me, like, is it one of the original houses? Back
it was built in '79.
I don't know the street numbers out there.
So I take care of my whole neighborhood every time it rains.
You're doing what we got a vet
No.
to be doing.
But I call and then they say they're going to be out. And it's 3-4 days later. We can't flush. We're flooding our yards with sewer. I can't do that. I am more than happy to go and do it. You can shake your head at me and tell me, no, I'm crazy and all this. I know what I do. I work out the prison.
And I'm gonna sit here and tell you, me being a public works director for a long time, we've never responded in 4 days or 3 days or however many you're accusing us of responding.
Okay.
Who do you speak to?
Who do I speak to? What I call the sewer line. And I call them up and say, hey, we have an issue out here on Bruce Street. They'll drive around the outside of it because apparently the one right in the middle of the big loop doesn't happen. They go to a far clean out over there and they're pulling another line that isn't even ours. I get it. Everything runs central to that same clean out, but we have one right down at the end of our road.
We've got some pretty good sewer crew and knows the sewers of Sullivan, Lakeside West, and everything that they're responsible for.
Mhm.
So I would have to ask you, how do you know that's not tied into that?
It is tied into it.
That's
But
why
if
we're
it's,
checking it.
if it's plugged
We
here,
have a way of checking sewers,
mhm,
manhole upstream and manhole downstream. If they're flowing, then there's probably not an issue. But then we go in and jet, like you spoke of, the vac on, we
mhm.
run the hose, not from that manhole that you're in probably. We go down and pull it back and clean it out. We're gonna respond. There's never been 3 or 4 days. Never been.
Who do we
Not on
talk?
my time
Who
at
do we
least,
talk
okay?
to?
So there is a sewer crew and utilities manager, Tony Burkhart. Chris Waymeyer is one of the best sewer crews I've ever seen.
Okay.
So when you say this, I would need to know specifically, who are you addressing here? Tony came out, Waymeyer came out?
I don't know
You
which,
seen a truck drive
the
around.
truck drove around the outside the
4
area
days later or same day?
about 3 days, about 3, 4 days, about a year and a half ago.
And that's a problem I need to know about.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half ago, but I'm questioning, because my income hasn't raised in 3 years. Has anybody else's? I'm on a budget because I bought the house that I was always wanted that I could barely afford, but I'm doing it. And now my bill's about to get even higher. My water bill, my sewer bill is about to be the same amount I pay in electric. I don't understand it. It's not right for anybody here. You sit and look at everybody, we all struggle the same way. I'm sure you all struggle the same way too.
We all pay it.
How can we fix it?
Your boss told him you need a 25% increase.
Sure.
I work for the state, bro.
Go to your boss.
That's all it takes.
Just say, okay, you're fired.
Yeah.
Just like I watched the prison put in a $3 million lift station. We can't get parts to fix it. I don't understand. Why do we keep putting Band-Aids on?
We did?
No, the prison.
Oh. So, yeah.
I will say, sir, that the sewer response for me has been excellent. They show up immediately within a half an hour, and they do an extremely good job for my properties. I don't know what they have at Lakeside West. I don't live out there. But the property I have in the city and the property I have like 200 feet outside the city, which is why I'm here.
But if you want a shining example, if you come to my house, right next door.
Speak highly of our response time. We came out the very next day after we found out 4 or 5 months ago, he came to a council meeting
Mhm.
and addressed it. And now we've purchased the pipe. Now we haven't done the job and we have not been misleading on that to where we told them before winter. Because resources aren't, we have a growing backhoe, extend a house.
Mhm.
It goes 13 feet, that's it. If it's a bigger job where we can't reach, we've got to hire it out to a third company, third party.
I think what he's referring to though is like when we get stormwater back up, like,
The big spring.
you know, like we do. I'm sure the issue he's having is the same that the rest of us are, where it just overwhelms the whole system.
It goes right into every drain in my house.
You know, it pushes everything back.
I have no choice.
Everybody I've talked to from the sewer department out there, you know, A, the lines are bad, B, the station's too small, you know. I mean, there's a multitude of issues out there, but I'm sure what he's referring to is the same issue that myself and at least 2 of my other neighbors have had. You know, when we get overwhelmed with rain, it's running into them sewer lines everywhere. It's all old clay tile. And I understand you guys come out and jet it out,
Are they here?
but, you know, I don't know, when you do jet it, you know, with high pressure or whatever, are you creating more of a problem by busting up more tile? I mean, you might temporarily open it up. But you're talking old clay tile that's how many, you know, what, 80 years old, 100 years old?
Not at Lakeside West.
I don't know.
Not out there.
Mayor Smith in the 80s ran 80s, late 80s.
Mid-70s.
Ran sewer out to Lakeside
That's why I
West.
was questioning where you live.
Our house was built in 71, and
73, so.
I'm not aware of it ever being on site.
Said
But I haven't been there since it was built either.
Did you? No, I couldn't notice for him to come.
Anyways,
Back to you. You're going, keep going. Got a minute and a half.
Oh, I do. Awesome. So my next question is right after I purchased my home and was turning the sewer on, I was told Republic Services is going to be part of that sewer bill.
Oh, no.
And I told them I live on Lakeside West, and I was told that was not part of it.
My question.
Yeah, Republic Services is sanitary. Yeah.
City
trash
city
services.
trash.
City only.
You don't have a green dumpster, right? A green tote?
No, I pay another $70 for 3 months. Yeah.
You should not be charged.
You are being charged.
You are being charged for that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, $179 a month for a sewer bill is kind of outrageous when I pay. But I was told that was part of the sewer bill.
Well, it wasn't part of the sewer
You'll see
bill.
3 lines on the bill.
Yeah.
It's gonna say sanitary.
Here's a sewer bill from the
It'll
city.
be 3 lines.
Right on.
2 of them's gonna be $15.50.
60.
16 of it, yeah.
They don't come out.
And then, yeah.
We just paid the fee.
Republic. We
That's
have to
Santa.
pay
We
for
have to pay,
Republic.
which I'm glad to pay it because it's.
How much do you pay a month for trash?
For trash, 70 for 3 months.
3 months,
Oh, no, it's
$70-something dollars.
It goes down here next time.
And also, my other question is 5 months ago, I filled out a little slip because I filled a pool. My sewer bill is still $500 5 months later.
For
All right, so on that one, yeah, they'll take the average of your 3-month sewer bill and they'll create that average and charge that amount. Am I right there, Jeannie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they take 3 months. And so if you did not see that, it credited.
Matter of fact, I think it was Jeannie I talked to last month and we paid $179 again.
Uh-huh. It's because you didn't have your
3 months of
3
bills.
months of
Water bills.
water bills that were normal.
Okay.
So it should be maybe this next month. But they're not charging you that 500, right? It's just on that bill, but it's not.
It's on the bill. You
It's
just
on
said
the bill,
to
you're just
breathe,
not- Yeah.
but $500 gives you a guy like a freaking heart attack when you see it come in your mailbox.
So that's, keep working with the sewer department, which is on the south side of the building here. You've talked to them already.
Mhm.
Continue working with them, and if you don't get anywhere, come over to my office and we'll go get some more.
That sheet right there, though, when I got that sheet, it says my bill was gonna go up another $33 a month for out of city. That's what that sheet says on the backside. If you look at all the charges, it's gonna raise it $33 a month. No.
Yep, which is $100-something a month.
Can I ask a question going back to if you sold it and you guys are talking
Hang
about?
hang on. Well, I am gonna get back in control of this meeting here. I'll facilitate this. Let him finish. Hold your question.
I'm sorry, I thought I was done.
We'll answer your question.
Outside the city, so it's gonna go up $33.14 on my bill. My bill is $314.
That's the rate per that much gallons. I don't have it. Yeah, I do have it in front of me. So it's,
I know.
here it is.
Our nurse in the bill has a $5 bill.
That is not
That's
saying
the
it's going to.
Fire hydrant. I don't know where it is. I don't know if Fire Thompson's is either. We want to visit Walmart, but that's not.
So you look at 2716? No, hang on.
So we don't have.
2968.
Danny
For 5/8 inch meter.
That's the only fire hydrant on the street.
We don't have any.
And that's for
That's not going.
first 60,000 gallons and then over 60,000 gallons outside the city per 1,000 gallons. Right there, see, it's right above it. Go see outside the city, meter usage charge per 1,000 gallons will be there.
Where the hell?
It's not gonna go up that. Corby, are you on here?
So I'll be paying like $20.
You may have gone.
Hey, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Hey, the question is, he says his bill's going up $33 by the,
Yeah, so everybody's bill is going up 15%. That's what was noticed. That's what the ordinance shows as far as the rates go. So that 3314, that is a base charge. So no matter what an outside city uses, so even if you use 0 gallons of water in a month, you will still owe $33.14. That's what the 33 is.
One way to get their money.
And on top of your base charge, you've got your flow charges, which looks like for outside city, it's it'll be $24.95 per 1,000 gallons. So that's how we calculate an outside city bill. So if you use 4,000 gallons, that's roughly $100 right there. And then you have your base charge of $33. So that should be a bill of around $133 for these outside.
For 4,000 gallons.
If they use 4,000 gallons, right?
For a family with 2 teenage boys, that ain't much. Especially one like 6 showers twice a day. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you got a
Yeah,
question?
what I was gonna ask, going back to what you're talking about, if and when that time comes that you would sell the sewer system to another company, to a company.
They're probably voting on it.
There, most of us, if we're paying attention, we see every
Tonight.
quarter or thereabouts, different utilities throughout the state of Indiana that have to submit for raises and they have to be approved. And if the council says that's more than we can justify, yada, yada.
Hang on a second, hang on.
There's an.
If everybody would just, if you would use the microphone and talk into the microphone, we're having a hard time hearing you up here. And everybody, please be respectful and let the lady ask questions. Because if you have questions, we're gonna let you ask questions too.
What I was asking about was quarterly or thereabouts, we see throughout the state of Indiana, the different utilities that have submitted for raises. We all know about this stuff, right? And sometimes they get approved, sometimes they'll modify the amount that they'll approve, yada, yada. If you were to sell our sewer company, would that not be managed in the same fashion? Because it sounded to me like you're saying, hey, you'll have no control, you'll have to drive to Egypt to complain, da, 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 da. But we're not the end all to be all. The state does participate in regulating that stuff, and that would apply in this case as well. That's my question.
And my comment was on
Yeah.
that. You can come in here and see us and not like us and see us.
But I do like you.
Well, I know, but you can, on the street, you can do it. You can go to the regulatory meeting, voice your opinion if you want to take your time to go. But once they're going to do it, you know.
It's my first meeting in my whole life, and it's been memorable. Thank you.
We have them every month.
I'm back.
Yeah, we have them every month. So
And that's a big topic right now is utility rates all around, correct? The Indiana Utility Regulatory Committee, they have shut some utility rates down when they asked for an 19% increase. They said, no, you're gonna do 16%. And some other utilities out there in the last couple of months that happened. And so the IURC is who controls that with the other utilities. Ours, we have the sewer utility, so you get to come here and address it with these fine folks to my left and right, just like this tonight, but I don't think you're gonna have that same kind of response if you went to the IURC and did that. You're not gonna face to face
Financially.
those electric companies or gas companies that do hike up those rates, so.
we could save you money, Chuck.
How's that?
Join the city.
Join the city?
Yep.
I've actually considered it.
Your property butts right up to the city.
Yep.
And the reason I know that is I own a half acre right there.
Yep.
You could take yours off 25% and annex into the city. You could do it. We would probably take you. And you could.
Oh, yeah,
drop-
I've already been told that'd be
We'd love to have you.
I'd be surprised.
We'd
So
like to have
far,
you at
the
Lakeside
law has
West
not
too.
went around very
We
well.
could get you.
We don't want to be part
You
of
ever
it.
seen that welcome menu?
That's
I
part
have
of our
not.
problem. Nobody wants to be part of the city, but they want our services.
Well,
Your guys here, as far as services go, are excellent. Okay, and I would. I have
That's
no
the problem we
complaints
find everywhere
about
is
that.
everybody wants to tell us what to do in the city of Sullivan.
I only want to tell you what to do about my rates. That's it.
I think the county thinks we're on an island sometimes.
Sometimes I think, oh, you're right.
But we could solve your problem and the problem at Greenbrier.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you ain't got enough brains to solve all of my problems.
Well, no, I'm talking about on your sewer rates.
We're involved with 3 cities, okay?
Does the county subsidize you guys at all?
What?
Does the county subsidize the city?
No, they don't.
That's not a word I hear.
They can try.
It goes the other direction.
Most communities get
Come up here, I can't, I'm older. I don't hear very well.
Is the county subsidy?
Yeah, I know, I heard that part.
Don't most cities get money from the county?
No.
No, it goes the other way. The city gives the money.
The county controls a lot of what our lit fund, but they control all of our lit fund. They set the rate, we're at their mercy on the income tax. No, as far as any money for the county did when they put in the new jail, they did add on the sewer up there. So they paid for it. We had some money in it. They paid for it. Now we have to take it over. That's part of the problem at Lakeside West, and these guys can correct me if I'm wrong. They just build and build and build, and we have to take it on. You can probably go back to the Danny Holmes days when they fought over the lift stations, Doug. We have no choice. Up here, Village Drive, gentleman built that subdivision. They hook in. We can't say no. We have to take it. Then it's our responsibility.
Sir, I was just asking about taxes. Okay, you pay county taxes.
Sure.
Okay. The people that live in the city pay county taxes.
Same
They
rate.
also pay city taxes.
I understand. I was just curious if you guys got any funding from the county at all?
No.
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 Do you guys,
County down school, getting a bunch of funding.
the new homes that are hooking into the system, is there a hookup fee or?
Yeah, there is.
I mean, there's that fee. There is.
And if they tear up the street, they have to pay to have a repair.
Well, yeah, I understand that. But I didn't know like out where we were, if they're just.
Otherwise, you'd be paying for it, and that
Right.
definitely wouldn't be right.
I kind of got the impression the last meeting I was at that it was just kind of a free for all. If the sewer's there, they can just hook into it, but they do have to pay to hook in.
There's an ordinance controlling that.
$3,000. Alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages.
Really got a choice, but.
Okay. We'll close this public hearing now and go ahead and reopen the special session for the city council, September 23rd, 2025. Before we pick up to close the public hearing.
Yeah, you need a motion.
No.
Thank you.
Public hearing's done. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
We're back into the.
Hey, guys, when will this go into
You
effect?
don't have to leave. We can stay here.
After you vote on it?
Stay.
It has to be voted on.
Immediately. If they pass it tonight, it'll take effect immediately. It will have to be entered into Gateway to factor the new rates in there to formulate.
So like 2 months?
As far as getting it on your bill,
Not Gateway.
it will have to go, this will have to be passed tonight. Everything will have to be sent into computer system that the city uses, which might take as much as a month before they get it into that our payment system.
The formula with the new rates has.
So it's according to how long it takes.
Which is their
them.
software.
Let me see it.
So it might
They're gonna
start
make it
with the November,
retroactive?
so it might be the November bill.
Right, but it won't go retroactive where we
No.
get 3 months of the
No, it
additional.
won't go retroactive. It'll be wherever.
Wherever it starts.
For whenever they get the,
It can be done.
Know that.
Okay, that's.
I'm sorry.
I got it. I figured that
Whenever
out, just like
the
the government.
hardware, the software is put into place for the billing, so it is not retroactive, no. No, we don't go backwards and dig out a little bit more, no. Thank you. Thank you.
It may be dealing together.
All right, so we're back into the special session of the common council meeting right now. Where we left off, the item on the agenda tonight is any more discussion on it. It's a sewer rate.
Go. Ahead, sir.
We're all in the square foot for beer. You guys want to go?
Isolate, showed up with a sewer problem.
Phil?
What you had in you.
Stymies though.
I think you said it best, they go back and watch last month's meeting.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
that
mean,
really
just
gave a lot of
really
good
what the
details and
city
information.
feels.
Right, and what, and having the meetings with Commonwealth, I mean, and what we are doing, we are now to have that information. I don't have it with me.
I've got it pulled up here. I mean,
Right, I mean,
it shows.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think this is what you were wanting. Let me find it.
How you been, Chuck?
Where,
Not well.
I've got this
I'm
on here.
sorry.
Table 1, flow comparison, Sullivan versus Terre Haute.
Right, that's what I was,
This
yeah.
is, so influent lift station peak design flows.
Right.
We have 65 million gallons a day
We're damn near like Terre Haute.
and they have 96.
Right.
And I mean, it really
It-
shocked the engineers.
And I don't know
they
when
said-
we talked with Drew, if we even talked about out there, we talked more about the east or the west side of Sullivan. I mean, I'm sure, and that's what they're going to do when they go, because we were talking about the smoke testing. He said, yeah, they can, it does or when they do their testing.
Yeah, this whole chart here is, I think, what you're wanting to see. Where it's a 2020 census has as a 4,200 people, Terre Haute's at 58,000.
Right.
And it goes on to where they were saying how we have numbers very comparable to
Terre Haute with their square miles compared to ours,
Yeah, per capita, average dry weather flow per capita, 328 gallons per day per person.
Yeah.
154.
Drew, when Drew was here, that Marine, the three people. I think
Yes.
He might have been gone that Friday.
Becky and I sat in on that one
Yeah, there you
together.
go. Yeah,
Oh, I'll have to dig that out.
yeah, and that's,
Too, I think that people don't realize Linton has gas, electric, water, sewer. Those gas, electric and water are moneymakers. And Jasonville, don't they have all 4 of them too?
They do.
Yeah, but when you get underground with the crushed lines and things like that, it's very expensive. And we've got one that is just a drain.
Of all we should own, we're owning the least.
I'm sorry for the language, the shittiest one. See, if you come into the city, you could be the mayor of city council.
I will eventually move to Sullivan.
There you go. We could just take you right in there at the trailer park. Drop your sewer rates.
Glory be to the Lord.
Any more discussion on that? Is there a motion to read it by title only first, right?
Right.
And it's. That one.
I know it's gonna be sent to.
Yeah, we're supposed to find that out.
Yeah, they could have all stayed. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, they could have stayed. They should have stayed. Because that was just a public hearing. Now this is the regular meeting.
So when you vote aye, they ain't gonna see it until it's in the paper.
That one's 9A. I'm looking at
It's really
9B.
aggravating the way people.
No,
come in and sit out there.
2025.
Yeah.
It's rude.
Have one filled out.
Okay,
I
yes.
think
it
I
was-
understand they're next.
Yeah.
The next. one is.
Can't hear it.
How's your family? All doing okay?
Gene did a good job.
Got such a big.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody.
I'll make a motion to read
Motion
title
to
only.
read it by title only. Is there a second? All right, so
According to.
Councilman Brown,
He is.
I am right here. And then it's live on minutes to where Ellen comes in from the live portion of it. So, motion by, Councilman Brown, seconded by Councilwoman White. Um,
Roll call.
This 2023.
Councilwoman White,
It's a killer.
Hi.
Councilman Brown, Councilman Bottom, Councilwoman Mayfield,
Hi.
Councilman Brown. Councilman, okay, all ayes.
Okay, so ordinance number 2025. An ordinance to amend the ordinance number 2023-9A of the city of Sullivan, Indiana, establishing a new schedule of rates and charges to be collected by the city of Sullivan, Indiana from the users of the sewage works of said city. End of caption, end of title. End of title.
Okay. Now, is there a motion to pass that ordinance?
Discussion,
Any discussion or any, I don't, I mean, is there any more discussion on it?
I don't think so.
If there is no discussion, is there a motion?
So move.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yes.
Okay, second. All right, Council Member White.
Aye.
Councilmember Bottom. Councilmember Mayfield.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember McClanahan.
Aye.
Okay, all ayes. One is passed. Okay, there was nothing else on the agenda tonight. Any council comments?
It would be nice if the citizens of Sullivan knew how difficult the financial situation is overall. You can't isolate the sewer system and the sewer rates. We've had 5 executive sessions to go over the real difficulties that began with our dear Republican state leaders who have cut property tax, cut our share of property tax. And when you do that, then there are just, it brings up issues. Had there not been a change in property tax caps, we wouldn't be discussing this. But that's the way it is. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, any other comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move.
A second.
We are adjourned.
Now I just have to get
All
up.
right, thanks, Corby.
Seats bearing down. Hell, everybody left.
Yeah, they did.
What's been, need help?
No, I get it. I can get it.
Oh, listen, don't drive. You did?
I can get up.
Hey, I'll see you.
See you later. Good night.
The next time I'll do it. I don't usually do that.